and I just missed my turn. Hey everyone, welcome back to Sgcarmart. So this is the Audi A3 Sportback, and the 4th generation of this car was launched here in 2021. People used to love hatchbacks, but it feels like hatches have fallen slightly out of favour with everyone nowadays wanting SUVs. So this car has gotten a mid-cycle facelift with the hopes that it will still appeal to people who want a premium compact car. Now, before we get on with the review, if you are thinking of selling your car, why not try Coates?
Coates help you sell your car quickly and easily. With the new Coates doorstep, get professional inspection by a certified mechanics at your convenience anywhere on the island. Coates will then auction out your car online to its wide network of dealers to bid on your car. Once bidding is complete, Coates will update you with their best offer price at no obligation. It's that easy.
To find out more, visit coates.com.sg, that's quotz.com.sg. Now, back to the review. Now, with this facelift, the car has gotten some light design changes, but they certainly aren't radical. The most obvious one would be the grille. Previously, there was a chrome strip that would be surrounding the grille that's gone now, and we also have these diagonal slats instead of the honeycomb pattern from before. And the lights are also new. Most obviously is this DRL. This interesting little thing here can actually be configured to have 3 different light signatures. And you know, the overall look is perhaps a little bit sleeker, a little bit sportier. Now at the rear, again, the lights are different from before. We now have the chevron-shaped light signature at the back, and this lower bumper element is a little bit different as well. Now the A3 is offered both as a sedan and a hatchback. One of the benefits of a hatchback is that easy access into the boot. We have a 380-litre boot, which is basically average for this class, and you know, it will obviously not pass the anti-trolley legs test. It will fit probably 2 of these big luggages, and overall I would say it's a usable size for a small family. Now let's go jump inside the car.
The Audi A3 Sportback is priced at $226,999. The 1.5-litre mild hybrid drivetrain produces a combined output of 114 brake horsepower and 220 Nm of torque. The 7-speed automatic transmission brings the car from 0 to 100 km/h in 9.9 seconds. The car has a claim fuel consumption of 16.1 km per litre. For more details on the Audi A3 Sportback or any other car, head on to sgcarmart.com to help you make the smart choice on your next car.
Now here in the rear cabin, space is okay, so I have okay amount of leg room and actually quite a decent amount of headroom. And again, it's worth highlighting that this is a compact car, so you know you're not going to expect magic, right? So generally, I would say it's very comfortable for 2 people, and for 3 people, it will be a little bit of a squeeze because if I slide over into the middle, obviously there is a transmission tunnel hump, so you're going to put your foot on this side, and you're not going to get a ton of showroom if you're in the middle. So if 2 adults, 3 kids, very comfortable. 3 adults, maybe a bit of a squeeze on longer journeys. Now, a little bit on the equipment here, we have rear aircon vents and temperature control but no fan control, and then we have 2 USB-C ports. And generally I would say this is what you expect for a car in this class. Now let's go jump in the front. Now with this facelift, the general layout of the cabin is pretty much unchanged, but little details have been updated, right? So there's like the chrome surround on the aircon vents. The ambient lighting is a little bit extended now, so it comes down to the center console, and actually even the cup holders have some ambient lighting. And the gear selector is now this, I don't know, rectangular tablet little thing, where it used to be a little bit more of a knob. I don't mind the change, I think it's fine. It declutters the space a little bit. And you know, beyond that, everything else is pretty much what you expect from an Audi, right? Lots of buttons. It's still quite a tactile space, and I think that's quite nice. I will concede that, look, this infotainment system, visually it's been like that for what, 10 years possibly, at least like, you know, 7-8 years, and some people might lament that that's a little bit, you know, getting on with age. Personally, I don't mind it. I actually quite like it because it's very simple, it's very minimal. I don't need too much, but I also understand that some people like the flashiness of some of the offerings from the other brands. That's not to say that functionality is limited, right? We still have all your usual settings. You have wireless CarPlay and, you know, Android Auto if you need. You have access to most of your key functions, right? Your car functions. It's shortcuttable, so that's nice. Aircon controls are easy to adjust with just these buttons over here. And you know, ultimately it's a functional yet comfortable cabin, right? It's not going to blow you away with pizzazz, you know, with like lots of like light shows and stuff like that. It's practical, it's usable, and I like that about it. Now, in terms of materials, you know, it's a mix of leathers and plastics. I actually don't really mind it at all. I think it's quite nice. I like the sort of dark color tone. The fabric inserts in the seats are quite nice, quite a nice touch. But yeah, beyond that, no, it's a very straightforward cabin. I like that about it. Now let's go drive this car and see if there's any difference on the road. Now, under the bonnet, you'll find VW Group's 1.5-litre ETSI mild hybrid engine, which also featured in the pre-facelift model. But here it's been detuned to 114 brake horsepower and 220 Nm of torque, and that means that this car will qualify for a Cat A COE. Now, this particular engine's standard tuning is 148 brake horsepower, but that would obviously put this car into Cat B. It's also worth pointing out that actually with the pre-facelift model, there was a Cat A model, but it used a 1-litre engine with a little bit less power. So as the numbers would suggest, this is not a particularly quick car, right? 0 to 100 takes 9.9 seconds. And you know, if you put your foot down and rev it out, yeah, it pulls okay, but you know, this is not meant to be a quick car. It's meant to be a comfortable, you know, daily commuting car. And for that particular purpose, I think it's actually quite nice, right? You know, it's compact. The steering is accurate, although not particularly, you know, with much communication, but you know, that's kind of what you expect. And in terms of ride quality, I personally like it. It's, I would say, a little bit on the firm side. You know, it's not the most, you know, softly sprung car in the world, but I actually personally quite like that, right? You know, it manages that balance between, you know, just cruising comfort and, you know, if you want to take it quickly through a few corners, it's decent, nothing spectacular again. That's, I think, the A3 in a nutshell, right? It's a car that's not going to stand out in one particular way, right? It's not the sharpest driving car, it's not the most comfortable car, but it's got a good balance between those elements. And I just missed my turn. Now, a couple of things I do like. I like this steering wheel. I like that it's really nice and skinny. I don't know, I think the market seems to have trend to really big, really thick steering wheels. And I just like this nice, skinny steering wheel. And you know, honestly, the thing that I like the most about this car is just its size, right? It's a small car, it's a hatchback. And that means that when you're driving, it's easy to place on the road. When you're parking, it's not going to be very intimidating. You know, when you're navigating narrow spaces, it's fine. And it's kind of strange because yes, cars nowadays are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's partially with the sort of growth in the amount of features and tech in the car, but it's also perhaps just what the market demands. People want more space, people want more utility. But I just think this car is a great size, and maybe it's also because it's rare to now find a car of this size that I am particularly quite drawn to it. Now, in terms of fuel efficiency, right? So I think that's another important thing when it comes to a daily commuting car. We have proven that it's possible to do 27 km per litre in an A3. It's possible. It also takes a level of dedication that I think very, very few people can realistically master. So if you're just driving this normally as we have been doing, perhaps not constantly with 4 or 5 people in a car, we are doing about 14 km per litre over 3 days, and I think that's an acceptable number. Nothing spectacular, but again, I think very, very good, right? And you know, that perhaps is me again coming back to what I quite like about this A3. It's quite a well-rounded car. It's not going to do anything particularly well, but it ticks all the necessary boxes that you want of a car in this segment. Now, in terms of the overall daily comfort of this car, I think NVH is quite good. So with this 1.5-litre engine, it's a lot smoother. You don't feel like you have to push it so hard just to get some performance out of it, and it overall makes for a very smooth drive, right? Now, with this mild hybrid system, you can also obviously have the engine cut off when you're cruising just like it is right now, and that helps you save a little bit of fuel. So the facelifted Audi A3 Sportback, is it a will buy, won't buy, or go try? For me, it is a will buy. Look, it's not a particularly cheap car. It's currently retailing for about $220,000, but obviously we have to account for the fact that COE prices are really quite high right now. So in terms of some of its competition, right? So your 1 Series, which is the obvious competitor in its class, is $225,000, And actually the A-Class hatchback is currently not on sale anymore, and if you were to take reference to the Volkswagen Golf, which this car is obviously related to, the Golf I think is about 190. So obviously you're paying a little bit more, but this is a more premium car. And again, I like the A3. It's a very well-rounded car. It's very competent. But again, the thing I like the most about it is that I think it is just the right size for me. And I will have to concede, right? It's not going to be for everybody because different people want different things. People with families need more space. People who constantly need to carry a lot of stuff, they need more hauling space, they need more boot space. For my particular lifestyle needs and my driving needs, hatchback is the right size, right? You know, I don't have a family, I don't have kids. So I appreciate a small car, and that's really what I enjoy about this A3. And especially considering we drive a lot of cars, we drive a lot of big cars, it's refreshing to have a small car that's just easy to negotiate. You don't have to worry about, you know, parking spaces, you don't have to worry about car park heights, stuff like that. And for that reason, I really quite like the A3. And obviously, for $220,000, you have a lot of other options out there, and I will concede, for that money, you can probably get more car, right? Whatever that means to you. There are obviously a lot of all-electric options, and if that's an option available to you, you should definitely consider that. But if you, like me, don't have access to a regular charging station, then a car like this makes sense. You know, obviously, if you need more space, if you like a different body style, then those are other considerations as well. But for me, and again, for my particular driving needs and purposes, for $220,000, I'm not sure there are many other choices that I would take over this one. Except maybe the A3 sedan. So yes, that's our review of the Audi A3 Sportback. Let us know what you think about this car in the comment section below, and of course like and subscribe to our channel, and also hit that notification bell so you'll be alerted of all our upcoming videos. And you can of course also find us on TikTok at Sgcarmart. So that's all I have. I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Hey everyone! Hello. Tuned to 114 brake horsepower and 220 good, you know, it's 3 to 1. There are, I don't know what to say. Okay, 3 to 1.